From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics, this is Sports Extra.
Hello and welcome to this Friday edition of Sports Extra. I'm Mallory Marks.
And I'm Brian Gallagher. We have a fun show for you, so let's get right to it. So nothing important happened Wednesday night, not at all, so we don't have anything to report on, right? Oh wait, the greatest rivalry in sports. Duke, UNC. It's the game in college basketball that we're all waiting for, and Barack Obama was in attendance. Less than a minute in, Zion Williams' shoe exploded and he exits, never returning the game. UNC takes advantage, going on a 20-9 run, spearheaded by Luke May and Cam Yeet. Then to cap off the first steal of the game, Seventh Woods gets it, dribbles it, then he dribbles it down, dishes it to Garrison Brooks, who finished it off with a mean mug, and the script didn't change much in the second half. Cam Johnson just equals buckets. I mean, he had 26 points. And the three-star recruit, Luke May, was the best player on the court, and call it bully ball as he dribbles spin moves off the glass. And then Seventh Woods joined the action with a nice little cut to the hoop and the scoop. The Heels would go on to win the game with a 16-point win, 88-72. Down go the Dukies.
Zion might have blown out his shoe, but the Heels definitely blew out the Blue Devils. I've been saying it all season, the Heels play to the level of their competition. Wednesday night, they didn't even do that. They played levels above it. I said Carolina would have to play virtually perfect to win this game, and it was dang near picture perfect. First off, can we just talk about Luke May? I don't know who cut his hair, but that barber had him feeling and playing fresh. May had 30 points and 15 rebounds on the night, making him only the second Tar Heel ever to have a 30-15 game against Duke. His ability to box out and get the offensive rebound is unmatchable. And Cameron Johnson, 26 points and 7 boards. And all of that without hitting a single three. Not sure what was going on from behind the arc Wednesday night, really from either team. That's going to need to change if the Heels want a natty. But hey, if you can make it up in the paint like Cam did, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There are so many great things from other players I want to talk about, but I'd go on forever. That's the thing about Carolina. The depth of the bench is unreal. Garrison Brooks throws up 14 points and pulls off 8 boards. Kenny Williams maybe doesn't score until the end, but manages to draw 3 of Carolina's 5 charges, and possibly the key player of the game, Seventh Woods. That's not a statement many of us thought we'd be saying after this game, or really any game for that matter, but Kobe didn't play well, let's be honest. 9 points is quite below his game average. He had 6 turnovers and was only 3 of 14 from the floor. He just looked rattled. But in his defense, you have the best defensive player in the country guarding him in his first UNC Duke game, in arguably one of the hardest venues there is. But when White struggled, Woods did not. Some of the biggest plays of the game came from Woods, including this steal from Cam Reddish that led to a Garrison Brooks major dunk right there. Does Carolina win this game without Woods? Hot take, but all I know is he should be feeling pretty good after that performance. The Carolina team that played on Wednesday night is a real contender to win a natty this year. You take the way the Heels shot and change the 2 for 20 from behind the arc stat, and they could be near unstoppable. Of course, if Zion makes the return for the March 9th matchup, the Heels might need a different game plan, but we'll address that when the time comes. Before that, Carolina will have to focus on Florida State tomorrow. I'm definitely going Heels all the way with this one.
The women's basketball team showed that UNC has not one, but 2 competitive basketball teams Thursday night against Boston College. Janelle Bailey was on a streak, shooting hoops and scoring points with a career high of 31. Look at her here as she fights off the defense. She was just unstoppable, to be honest. And Paris Key was another star player on the day with a silky finish right there. She had 25 points, including her 1,500 career point at UNC. The Heels took down the Eagles 93-78. The victory marked Coach Sylvia Hatchell's 750th win with the Heels. Coach Sylvia Hatchell says Bailey and Key have the it factor.
But that's what I call the it factor, is that's that competitiveness. That's why they're both going to have great careers, not just here, but beyond. And so that's a mentality that you decide to have.
Paris Key will play her last game at Carmichael Arena Sunday against NC State.
Now let's take a look at the weekend ahead. Days of rain won't wash everything away, including men's lacrosse, UNC versus Johns Hopkins. This weekend's encounter will be UNC's 48th match all-time versus Johns Hopkins, and the first time UNC has played Johns Hopkins since February of 2018, when a dramatic comeback in the fourth quarter led to a 13-11 win for the Heels. UNC has been on a roll so far this season, on the way to a 4-0 record and the number 10 ranking in the coaches' poll. An offensive explosion led UNC to a 16-11 win last week against Harvard, with 10 different players scoring goals. UNC will hope to keep the momentum going against a Johns Hopkins team that hasn't won this season.
The women's lacrosse team is also undefeated at 3-0 and will take on Maryland on Sunday. Sophomore Jamie Ortega is lighting it up for the Heels as she has scored 15 goals and 3 assists for the team on these 3 victories. Now for those math challenged among us, which might be me as well, that's an average of 5 goals per contest. Ortega has an advanced skill set that is a threat for her to score at any time. She gets the ball and you just can't stop her. She could be the key to a national championship, and the last time we won it was in 2016.
Now over to the Diamond, the Heels will kick off another home series this weekend. The first game against South Florida, scheduled for this afternoon, is postponed because of weather. The Heels will play the Bulls in a single game on Saturday and will wrap up the series with a Sunday doubleheader. The Heels are 4-0 and will look to extend their 22-game home win streak, the longest home win streak in the country. It's South Florida's first time since 1972 to travel to Chapel Hill.
The softball team is competing in a tournament in Florida. The Heels lost to Oklahoma State on Thursday, 7-5. Game 2 against Kentucky got rained out, and games 3 and 4 are today against Utah and New Mexico State. Carolina wraps up the tournament tomorrow against Long Beach State.
On day 2 of the Swim and Dive ACC Championships, 7 Tar Heels made finals, including freshman Grace County tying for 4th in the 50 free with an NCAA provisional time of 21.15 seconds. The Heels will look to continue the momentum in the final 2 days of the meet.
The UNC men's golf team competed at Hawaii for the Johnsburn Intercollegiate Tournament, and the Heels are tied 7th in shooting even on the day 1. Senior Joshua Martin had a season-high 6 birdies in a round for day 1 and finished with a score of 69. The day 3 tournament ends Saturday.
The 13th ranked Carolina wrestling team is ready to knock off Duke as the last regular season match. The Heels are 11-7 on the season. The match is at 7 in Cameron Indoor Stadium, where another group of Heels had some recent success.
Now, as in the case with any UNC and Duke game, Twitter went crazy. So we had some great material from the exploding shoe to the post-game beef between the coaches, and it just set social media on fire.
Sports Extra Elena Pirtle is in studio to go over Twitter's best.
Guys, the Twitter spirit was poppin' Wednesday night, and the hot takes haven't stopped rolling in. From funny Zion memes to beef between the two teams, everyone has been weighing in. It didn't take long for the star of the game, Zion Shoe, to have its own Twitter account after its infamous takedown of the likely NBA #1 overall draft pick just 36 seconds into the game. Just a few minutes after Zion left the game, the Shoe tweeted, "My bad," at Zion and at Nike. The jokes didn't stop there. The memesters of Twitter were quick with it. Here's my personal favorite of Zion mid-knee spraying, showing off his twister skills, although the only thing getting twisted was his right knee. I'd say that's a knee slapper, but Zion probably shouldn't make that grade 1 sprain of his any worse. And as you all know, Zion didn't return to the game, and the Duke team seemed to fall apart without the potential National Player of the Year, and the Heels made their 16-point spanking look easy. While many Duke fans blamed the loss on Zion's absence, Heels fans were quick to declare, "No Zion, no excuse." The UNC Barstool account sent out a friendly reminder that Duke had the #1 recruiting class even before Zion committed. And to put things in perspective for us, former UNC basketball player Jawad Williams tweeted, "You got the whole Avenger squad out there. Hulk went down. Y'all were still well equipped to win." Clearly a Marvel fan, and you are not wrong, Mr. Williams. Having 2 other top 4 NBA draft picks still on the floor wasn't enough for Duke. They had to have 3. Roy Williams said in a press conference this year that he loves salt, but I'll bet it's not the kind he got from Coach K after the game. Williams shakes K's hand and K blows right past him. Duke fans were quick to come to K's defense, saying his snub was just part of the rivalry, but at Batch Dude tweeted that he expects a little more from a 72-year-old man that lectures people on sportsmanship and has a literal Center for Leadership and Ethics named after him. Kay wasn't the only salty Dookie. His players were dishing out the disses too. ESPN's Mark Jones tweeted that a nameless Duke player came for the chin strap assassin Luke May, saying, "You're not a 5-star or even a 4-star. May's clapback to be heard around the world. "No, I'm not, but I'm killing a lot of y'all who are." The mic has been dropped, and considering May is the only player in UNC history to drop 30+ at both Duke and NC State, I see no lies here. I'm going to send you guys into the weekend on that note, and I'm sure Twitter will be booming with more hot takes regarding the greatest rivalry in college basketball when the Blue Devils make the 8-mile drive to Chapel Hill in a couple weeks. Let's hope it doesn't snow. Back to you guys.
Elena Pirtle in the studio. Thanks, Elena.
Brian, did you rush Franklin after the game?
Of course. That was the most difficult run of my life. I need to do more cardio.
No, I was so out of breath, but I did jump a fire for the first time. So that was scary, but a little exciting.
That would definitely be scary. I'd also like to say shout out to Nike. Great pair of shoes they made here. Heels win.
I would not want to be in their PR department this weekend.
That does it for this edition of Sports Extra, and we'll leave you with looking at what happens on Franklin Street.
Thanks for watching.